Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's Cupid here with the aforementioned bonus duel. I got an extra duel off in Diamond 4 that I really wanted to share with you guys because it was actually some pretty impressive stuff. As you can see, the win streak has increased to 4 in Diamond, and let me just show you a little bit of what this deck is capable of now, at this point, right? You know, you always say, oh yes, Cupid, your deck, you never show replays of you playing through boards or playing through shifter, you always just show your going first combo, right? Well, it's time to sate all the appetites of those people. We have going second into Snake Eyes Fire King and getting Maxx Seed in the same game. How do you think we're gonna do? How do you think we're gonna do? Well, let's find out. Let's get through some gameplay, shall we? So our opponent opens with Wanted, and they are toggled off, so they could get Droll and Lockbirded here, but I do not open it because I don't play it. Our opponent sets one, and I have no idea what this card is. It never gets activated. I think it might be Crossout Designator. So they're going Diabell. I'm like, okay, I can chain Havness, get some Mill 3s going, right? That would be nice. He ashes it. So our opponent has opened Diabell Ash, unknown set card, probably Crossout Designator, you know, a Veiler that was sent. And I believe that this last card is Volcanics, or it's something that we just never get to find out. So we had Ponix effect, grab Sanctuary, activate Sanctuary, place Fire King Island. Oh wait, no, we don't do that first. We draw first. So we can draw into Fire King Island. Little slight misplay there, but it's not that big of a deal. Fire King Island, pop the Volcanics in hand. Volcanics effect can summon the big Runics. Snake Eye Ash can send itself, and Ponix get Flamberge Dragon. Alright, now we're going to make IP. Now this combo line's a little bit, I would say a little bit suboptimal. I feel like they could have probably got to a lot more than just this, but honestly, this is still a pretty solid board. I mean, you have the Fire King stuff set up for follow-up, and we're going to be ending on Flamberge with the IP. And an Ambler Whale, so it's still pretty solid. So IP is there, and we are going to link climb into the Ambler Whale, as I mentioned. And our opponent is going to pass on this. So, my turn rolls around, and we have no grass, but we have a lot of gas. We are going to activate Sheeran here. Our opponent's going to chain Maxx C, and I'm like, man, fuck. But I bet I can just kill him, though. And luckily for us, our opponent chains the Flamberge, so we can now use our Havness to give them one less draw. Very good. Our Havness mills a Destrudo. Also very good stuff. Why does Havness milling Destrudo mean a lot to us? Well, in very, very simple terms, this Havness milling Destrudo means that our opponent is now going to be scared shitless of Bar on the floor constantly. So, they are going to do everything in their power to prevent Bar on the floor from hitting the floor. They do not want the bar to be on the floor. So we go into Kitkalos, as you do, right? Give our opponent a card, White Baking, gonna grab King, because I thought I might be normal summoning King to try and punch for game. Tragically for us, we do not end up in the situation where we can normal summon King. So they're gonna Veiler our Kitkalos. So they drew another Veiler very, very early. Pretty unfortunate for us, but that's okay. We're still going to send our stuff. We're going to use White Lord, get some mills off. Mill 7, hit a wolf, summon a wolf. Hit a Soliac, add tier cash. Because we have a Soliac in our grave, and, you know, we can still get to our tier cash. We can get some mills going, and we can set up a Bar on the floor, which is going to scare our opponent. Our opponent decides to Promethean Princess here, instead of using the IP to link off the Flamberge, which is a slight mistake. I mean, we already used the Sheeran, but still, maybe banishing Kitkalos was a little bit better, because now we're fire locked, and this IP doesn't really have anything that I'm scared of that he can go into. So Tier Cash is going to get summoned, he's going to summon out all of his stuff, he's going to get a bunch of effects. Since I'm turn player, Tier Cash is going to get a search, and he's going to get to trigger everything. Which is all fine and dandy. And he's going to chain the IP as well. I mean, he's fire locked, so there's really nothing that we have to be afraid of that he can go into. Just gonna link off the Ambler Whale to make a second princess, which I don't know who hurt this man to where he feels like he needs the second princess, or even how standard second princess is, but he's on second princess. Anyways, he's gonna grab Skyburn and another thing. And I'm just gonna keep milling, you know. I hit Lightsworn Aegis, and I'm like, okay, great, I can use this later. I'm gonna leave this on my board. So he's gonna summon the High Garunix and pop my Wolf, because he really does not want me to have access to Destrudo. So I'm gonna normal summon Mizuki and activate Destrudo anyway, giving him the High Garunix, because High Garunix is still gonna let me mill 7 cards anyway, and get me a Mizuki in my graveyard, which I decided was a little bit higher value than normal summoning King of the Skull Servants in this situation. So we are going to try and mill 7. We chain block correctly. Our opponent did in fact have an Ash Blossom, and they think that we are basically done here, and that's why they use their Ash Blossom here. Little did he know, he was extremely wrong about his assessment about me being done. Believe me, I am not done. Alright, so Unizombie gonna do its thing, dump the thing from our hand. We don't need to dump from deck. I think all of our things in deck are already gone, and plus I want to mill more cards with Minerva anyway. So let's mill some more cards with Minerva. We hit Weiss. Weiss is gonna summon back the Dragonling. Dragonling is going to send a Wolf. Wolf is gonna summon. We're gonna hit another level 4. We're feeling pretty good about the whole scenario. We're gonna Mizuki. We're gonna get back a King. And now, here I got a little bit of decision paralysis. So, I was worried, somehow, that I would miss game. He was constantly triggering something. There was something there that could be triggered. So, I thought that this was definitely an imperm, and I don't know why he hasn't used it yet. So, I decided to make my King of the Skull Servants immune to spells and traps. Now, as a result of this, I do actually miss game this turn. I had a line to summon the second King of the Skull Servants, instead of this lady in white, and I would have just been able to punch for game. Straight up. I would have just straight up been able to punch for game. Like, he imperms me, drops me down to, you know, whatever. I banish, summon back the king. 7k, punch defense, 7k again, and he's just dead, right? But tragically for me, we do not get there. So I'm going to just connect for the 5k. And this is very tragic. We don't have game here. We're going to pop the Garunix Eternity, and he's going to summon Alphonix. All of this is fine. We don't care. So I'm going to just kill off these monsters really quick. Now we are going to main phase 2. Because he's going to continue popping stuff and getting searches. He's going to Poplar, put itself back in the spell and trap. But, like, I've given him so many cards that I feel like his deck is probably just, like, non-threatening for me. So I'm going to just, like, you know, make an SP. I'm going to banish the Fire King Island, get rid of the Volcanics, get rid of his follow-up. And then I'm going to just make a 3 negates Oppo. And at this point, all I really need to do is prevent him from putting game on the board. And at 4,000 life points, all I need to do is not die. He's going to try and summon Kirin. Kirin is a very good way for me to die. I'm going to do whatever I can to prevent this Kirin. And our opponent has all these cards in hand, right? So they're going to Ponix, add back Ponix. I literally don't care. Go ahead, add back Ponix, see if I care. I don't. He's going to summon Diabellstar. Diabellstar has enough attack to attack over me, but if he goes battle phase, I survive. So he has to kind of do more. He tries to go Kirin. I am going to not let him Kirin. He goes Skyburn. Lightsworn Aegis, negate the Skyburn. There is a reason that I said the Aegis and I left this Dragonling on the board. I saw him add the Skyburn. He's going to crash off the Ponix, trying to get the big Garunix out because he destroyed something by battle. I'm not going to let him do that. And now he can hit me for 25, but I survived the turn. He's going to Called By. Now he targets SP here, which is just incorrect. This is the most egregious play that this guy makes. He targets SP. The other one targets Kikalosa, which is a completely fine banish. But I guess he forgot that I have a King of the Skull Servants in my hand. I guess he forgot. The average Snake Eye Fire King player in Master Duel is not that much of a threat, and you guys should honestly just not be scared. So I hit Nemesis Corridor here, which is very good. I mean, I have a whole bunch of stuff banished. I can make a Colossus. I don't really feel like trying to give him more stuff, though. You know? So he's gonna summon the Kirin, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. Anyways, I'm gonna make Corridor. He's gonna summon back the Garunix, and he's gonna Runix pop the Kirin. Kirin's gonna summon the Arvada, pop the Dragonling. He should have popped Corridor, but it didn't matter. I read his continuous spell, and it says only when something is special summoned, much like the Arvada. I normal summon the King of the Skull Serpents from my hand, and I punch him for 8,200 damage. And we just beat Snake Eye Fire King through Maxx C. Anyways, if you would like a link to my former video, you should be able to check it out here on my end cards of the video. However, I did make a slight change to the end of the deck list. I did mention that Redoer and AFD were probably replaceable, and I have decided that yes, that is correct. They have been replaced by Borreload Savage Dragon to make a negate, and IP Masquerena to make disruption during my opponent's turn, or make a climb into Appaloosa that makes the Appaloosa indestructible by card effects, and put a Link monster in the grave for my Savage Dragon. Those are the two changes. The main deck is still the same. Alright? If you haven't already, I do really recommend checking out the video on the end card of this video, because it gives you, a much more in-depth breakdown of this deck. Anyways, Skull Servant strongest, and I will see you all later. Peace.